Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode of Literacy in Motion. So, my podcast is dedicated to exploring how joyful, fun, and inclusive teaching practices can bring joy to classrooms and bring literacy to life. So, I'm super excited to be joined by my fellow educators and good friends of mine, Jaycee and Marissa. So, welcome to the show, ladies. I'm looking forward to having you here today.
Thanks, Bree. I'm really looking forward to diving into this topic and discussing how we as educators can foster joy in literacy learning.
Same here. I'm thrilled to be a part of this conversation. There's so much power in rethinking how we teach literacy with joy and purpose, and I can't wait to chat today.
Awesome. So I decided to name today's podcast episode Pumpkin Faces and Literacy Joy, a classroom story. And it's actually inspired by some of my own classroom experiences.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let me set the stage first. It was the week before Halloween in 2023, and I was really excited to read one of my favorite poems to my kindergarten class, Five Little Pumpkins. And I'd used this before, but this time I wanted to kind of take it up a notch. So I wrote the poem out on chart paper, gave a student the pointer for everyone else in the class to follow along, and then I just had the rest of the students sit in front and read the poem.
Oh, yeah, a classic. That's a staple in my classroom, too.
Right? But as I looked out over my kids, I realized that only one student got to use the pointer while everyone else had to just watch. And I thought, is this really joyful and inclusive for everyone?
Oh, I've had moments like that too. You plan something you think will be engaging and then realize mid lesson that it might be leaving some students out.
Yeah, totally. We get into these teaching grooves and sometimes forget to reflect on whether they're truly working for all learners.
Oh, for sure. And that moment actually really shifted my thinking. So the following year, I wanted to find a more active and inclusive way to experience the poem together without excluding anyone. So I reworked the activity a little bit. Instead of just reading, I had the students draw their own pumpkin faces. So we had some happy, silly, sad, scared, whatever they wanted. And then in groups, they acted out the poems with their pumpkins.
I love that. Giving kids ownership is so powerful, and I'm sure they had a blast.
That's such a smart shift. You turned a passive activity into something collaborative and imaginative. I bet your classroom was buzzing with excitement that day.
Oh, it really was. And each group presented their version and the creativity was just incredible. The students made up their own characters and a little bit of stories to go with their pumpkins, so they were all individual. And it became this joyful community-centered event.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. But what about your quieter students? Did they engage too?
Yes, one of my shyest students actually stepped up and played a sleepy pumpkin who told a joke at the end. And it was so unexpected and beautiful. It was great to see her confidence soar.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the magic of literacy done right. When students feel safe and seen, they show up in the most amazing ways.
Oh, for sure. And it wasn't even just about having fun. As Kimberly Cockwell states in The Vital Role of Joy for Educators, modeling joy and creativity helps students feel emotionally safe, which is actually a foundation for literacy development.
I think it also connects to culturally responsive teaching. When students' identities are reflected in the classroom activities, they feel more invested.
Yes, I've had students add cultural elements to projects like this too, using language from home, adding traditional designs. It's a great way to honor their backgrounds and deepen their learning.
Oh, exactly. And during this activity, I also found that some kids actually added bilingual speech bubbles or dressed their pumpkins in traditional attire. So it turned into an inclusive celebration of identity at the end of it, really.
And it ties beautifully into universal design for learning. Students finding ways to express themselves that just go beyond writing or speaking.
For sure. And this activity was honestly so simple to plan and it was really fun. I just picked the same poem that I loved and I knew would resonate with my students, and they got to do the rest. So they were drawing, acting, building characters, and I grouped them up. I let them rehearse and perform, and I only stepped in when they needed me to.
I love how that scaffolds independence. You gave them structure, but you also gave them the freedom to explore and showcase who they are.
And it builds oral language, teamwork, creativity. Plus, it's adaptable for all ages and even multilingual classrooms.
This just proves that joy is the foundation of literacy. When students are engaged in expressing themselves, they're learning in a deeper and more meaningful way.
Exactly. So I think that the biggest key takeaway here is that joyful classrooms really are inclusive classrooms.
Yeah, this is really incredible. You honored your students' voices, and that likely brought them closer together as a community.
It also supports inquiry based learning. Like Alyssa Shea points out in her article, Building a Joyful Community in Education, when kids follow their curiosity, their understanding grows so much deeper.
This is a great reminder. Don't underestimate the power of play, performance, and joy in literacy instruction.
Oh, yeah. And so if you're looking to bring more joy into your literacy instruction this year, you can try this. Ask your students how they want to experience a poem or story. Invite them to act, draw, write, and make it their own and let them be creative and showcase a little bit of even who they are.
Because when students take ownership, literacy becomes a celebration of who they are.
Joy isn't just an add on, it's a foundation for growth.
It definitely is. And what an awesome way to end today's podcast. Thanks for listening to Literacy in Motion. And a big thank you to Jay and Marissa for joining me today. And until next time, keep teaching with your heart, curiosity, and a little bit of pumpkin magic. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.